What's up, guys? We are driving to the gym once again, and today there was something that I wanted to discuss just to kind of put some of my thoughts out there about something that happened just yesterday where it was related to the business that I'm starting up. And for some backstory, for anyone who's unaware, I'm launching this product, and the manufacturer that I've got working with me, I've already paid them for the product. They're making it. It's on the way. And one of the last steps is putting labels onto the finished product. And so yesterday I got a text from them that said, "Hey, we're ready to receive payment for the labels." And the thing is, on the invoice that they had sent me earlier, there was a charge for, the product, for the packaging, and listed as part of the package was the label. And so I pointed this out to them, and they explained that it was a mistake that a new employee had made who put that on the invoice. Now, overall, what they were asking me to pay for the labels, it was $500. So when I saw it, I wasn't sweating. I was like, all right, worst case scenario, I have to pay it, and so be it. But I explained to them, on the invoice, it says that the labels are included in the price that I've already paid. And they explained, this new employee made a mistake, and they were actually making a lot of mistakes. We ended up letting them go. And that lines up. I did stop receiving communications from that employee and started communicating with someone different. And so it makes sense. I actually may have led this employee astray, asking them specifically about the labels and having them alter the invoice. So it makes sense, their explanation, but I still felt that, as a business, if you put an invoice out there, send an invoice to someone and then they pay it, that it's then your responsibility to fulfill the invoice. And, it's not like you had no opportunity to look at this invoice and see what it said. This company very well could have noticed the error in the weeks leading up to the actual payment for the order and, have corrected it. They didn't notice until I pointed it out to them. And so be it. So I explained this to them, I told them my thoughts on it, and, they said, we're sorry. It was a mistake made by an employee that we've gotten rid of. And if you'd rather, you can send us your own labels that you get from another company if you think it can be cheaper. But this is how we've got to do it. And so at that point, I was looking at this like, okay, I can either call a lawyer or, keep fighting them on this and, And if they keep pushing back, I'd eventually have to call some kind of lawyer and start some kind of lawsuit. And it's not worth it for $500, right? Especially for $500 that was always meant to be charged and that, mistakenly was not disclosed to me, because of someone's lack of knowledge. And so I looked at it and I said, although I believe the ethical thing to do would be to just, provide the service that you said you would, I just looked at it and I said, all right, I'm just going to pay this fee and get this over with and get things moving. And, it's not sat super well. I haven't sat very well with it. I've been a bit peeved today, just kind of thinking about it and thinking, that's really not right what was done. And the way that they went about it, where, they weren't willing to pay for their own mistakes. And, as I was having these kind of negative thoughts today, I became kind of glad that the biggest problem in my life was having to pay $500 more than I thought. I was thinking, and not a huge hardship to do that. It was, a couple clicks of a button and the money got transferred out of an account. It wasn't like I had to go scrounging up some money. It was well within my budget. It just wasn't something that I was expecting, and it's something that wasn't handled, the best that it could have been. But I was thinking about just the fact that I'm kind of lucky that that's the biggest problem that I have in my life. and that and it's not even like it's $500 that I had to spend to fix a bad problem. It's not like I broke my arm and had to pay money to fix that. That happened in the past. But you know, in my current situation, if the worst thing that's happening to me is I have to pay $500 for some labels. I was thinking about that after being kind of upset about this for a couple of hours earlier, just while I was doing some work. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking overall, I'm not doing too bad if that's the situation that I'm dealing with, where that's the worst thing happening to me. So, I guess the lesson that I've learned from this is triple check everything, first of all, because I did double check. I got the invoice sent to me. I double checked with a new employee who didn't know what they were talking about. About are the labels included, and they said yes and put it on the invoice for me. And, double checking sometimes isn't enough. Now, the other lesson that I was learning from this, it's a lesson that I've already learned, but I've kind of reinforced it in my mind. And it's that you can cause a ruckus and, really say like, no, this isn't right. You guys have to do what you said you would. And I've learned this lesson in the past, that causing a big commotion like that tends to just make things worse for everyone. It's been very rare that really pushing someone on something has yielded good results. You can talk about things reasonably with them, and I did my best to, put forward the case that, this was in the invoice. It said that you would provide this for me, and now you're saying you need more money to do it. It doesn't, it's not really right. But when people aren't having it, I mean, your options are you can cut those people off, and at this point in the process, that's not something that I'm wanting to do. All other aspects of this order have gone great. I'm really happy with the product. I'm really happy with the timing. It should be coming very soon. And this is just one of those last minute things. It was, once again, not a huge percentage cost for this total order. $500 was a very small increase in what this whole project cost. So all things considered, it's not the worst thing in the world. But I just realized, causing a huge stink about this and getting people upset and getting upset myself isn't really worth it. I mean, there is some level of disappointment and unpleasantness that, I suffered just because this was brought to my attention and things didn't go as planned. And that's the best case scenario at this point, is that I've been, a little peeved about it and can just forget about it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just relax, guys. When something goes wrong, do your best, but getting upset about it, probably not going to help. I mean, maybe in some cases you might scare someone into doing something, but probably it's not going to help. So that's what I've got for today. That was my story. Just wanted to share it, in case anyone else is going through something similar. I mean, obviously, every situation's different, and what you're going to want to do in a situation like that might vary depending on, how much money you're talking about and where you're at in any kind of process for whatever we're talking about. But other than that, I've parked, and so that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.